bitches go.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Canelo Alvarez and Sergey Kovalev kick off their press duties and take selfies together. Andre Ward has something to say. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, they did a press conference. I haven't watched it yet, but it was between Canelo and his upcoming opponent, Kovalev. Now, a recent tweet from Andre Ward I want to explore. He obviously has experience with Kovalev, fought him twice, and went the distance. The first fight stopped him. The second fight proved everybody who doubted him, I guess, wrong. Andre Ward, he's seen there's a video, where Kovalev's taking a selfie with Canelo, like they're like all smiles and shit, and like I don't know, it's weird. Look, then they dap each other up. These are guys who are about to fight next, and it looks all smiles and stuff. I'm good with sportsmanship, but Andre Ward had to say this. Okay, he says, we're taking selfies with opponents now. Okay, bet. We unpack, coming to you live. So I'm going to talk about that. Some people, this particular practice is been, kind of under scrutiny recently. I don't like it. Me personally, I think, I don't know, I'm just too old school maybe. And I've watched boxing my whole life. My favorite fighter, Roy Jones, Prince Nassim, and Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali. And Mike Tyson has a whole, there's a documentary or something where he was talking about, he was like, I'm looking at my opponent, he's looking at me, I'm looking at him. We don't want to break eye contact. And he said the moment that he looked away for that millisecond, for that split second, I know I got him, boom. And he's talking about how he doesn't break eye contact until it gets uncomfortable. And he's like, I mastered the art of skullduggery. He calls it skullduggery. And he says, that's how he would know. And in the animal planet, this is the same thing. The hardest gorilla primate they'll have basically showdowns, staring contests. And then the gorilla that cuts his eye away is basically proving that the other gorilla that stared him down and made him look away is the alpha, is the alpha gorilla. And it's basically submitting okay, you got me. So I believe in that. I believe in the Sun Tzu art of war, war strategist, 48 laws of power, Robert Greene, these types of tactics when you're at war. I don't think it's cool to be all buddy. I've never liked this type of behavior. Now, I don't believe this is where people got it. This is why I'm unpacking it for you guys. I don't like things that aren't authentic as well. So I'm not saying if you're a non-trash talker, go out and start trash talking to create calamity or create beef or, sensationalize some shit. I don't think you should be fake either, but you can shake someone's hand or be like, all right, good. But that looked a little bit too, you get what I'm saying? You're taking everyone in the media is laughing and you're like, oh, hey, good seeing you. And I know they know each other from the past, maybe when, I think he said in 2012 when he was an amateur, something like that. I just don't like it. I really don't. It puts me in the mindset of Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz. Same thing. I said the same thing. I'm very consistent on my channel, whether people want to admit it or not. Anthony Joshua he was supposed to fight Gerald Big Baby Miller, 317 pounds, 6'4". That fight got canceled, kaput. Gerald Miller failed a drug test. In comes a substitute opponent after negotiating with a couple guys. That was Andy Ruiz. Different size, different height, different style that he brings to the table. Minimal time, with multiple opponents, Michael Hunter and whoever else, Luis Ortiz, whoever else they were allegedly negotiating with. And in comes Andy Ruiz. So you have minimal time to prepare for a totally different style. And Joshua at the final press conference was sitting up here. See, here's another picture for you guys. He was sitting up here allowing Andy Ruiz Jr. to hold and pose with his belt. And this was his own free will. You know, it'd be one thing if maybe a PR person said, yo, I need Andy with this belt for this picture for, you know, a magazine cover or, you know, something like that. Like it was something, but he was like, oh yeah, enjoy the belt, you know, and just allowed him to do that. And there was no like real reason to do it. And you know, you normally don't see that. And then the next day he loses to Andy Ruiz. And I'm not saying, or 2 days later, because I was at the final press conference, I'm not saying it's just because of that. But again, art of skullduggery. It's not a good look, especially the fact that in the end, in hindsight, you look back and you lost to the guy. So now it looks horrible. Like you let him hold your belts and get a taste of how it feels. And this shit start getting good to him. Andy Ruiz comes out with the victory. So now you look bogus looking back. And I don't like this. I really don't. Met Canelo again since 2012. So this is the first time. This looked like some Step Brothers 2. Like, you got to call me Nighthawk. I'll never call him dad, not even in a fire. This house is our prison. You know, this look like some Step Brothers 2. I'd like some fancy sauce. Shut your mouth. You know, this look like the joyous occasion. This is who you about to fight. Another reason I don't like it, aside from, I'll get to more of the skullduggery stuff. I don't personally like this is because this is something you are selling to the public. We have to get hyped for the fight. So I don't want to see come fight week and then just like Danny Jacobs, Canelo and Jacobs, DAZN got to get it together, bro. I don't know who's calling the shots, but they have them doing some weird stuff, right? Canelo and Danny Jacobs, and now that I'm thinking about this is all freestyle. As I'm thinking about this, Danny Jacobs and Canelo did a FaceTime call together. And they weren't really like talking about anything. You know, there's somewhat of a language barrier. I think Canelo understands good English and stuff, and he speaks some of it. But it was just weird. It was kind of weird. It was just like, and then when the fight is, I expected more from both guys, Canelo and Jacobs. Canelo won, that's fine. I'm not mad, whatever. But I expected more. I expected more of a like, oh, this is a true unification. Pacquiao versus Thurman, much better fight. And that's similar to a unification. It was a consolidation of the WBA titles. Super versus regular, the winner gets that, which was Pacquiao. But I don't know. I just feel like it's a little bit weird having whoever scheduled, like, you have to understand boxing. Boxing is a small niche community. It really and truly is. And you got a lot of people, PR people or, you know, communications major, journalists or whatever. And then they get hired onto these companies and they think some of this stuff is cool and cute. And they think it would be a good to see. And to me, it kind of dumbs down boxing. Like this dumbs down boxing. I don't want to see Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson like that. Maybe now after they're both retired, you know, or Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson, but it was funk when they were fighting. It wasn't none of this. I didn't see this. You know, it was, I'm a bite his ear. He keep hitting me with that big ass head. He was headbutting me, so I had to bite him. I want to bite him, you know. It wasn't none of this like Chuckle House. And it's just weird. So for me, call me old school, whatever. It just, I feel like the art of skullduggery, it takes away from it. Like this is what we have to buy. And just like the Jacobs fight, which under-delivered to me, performance-wise, from both, you're doing a FaceTime with him, and then you and Kovalev, like, oh, hey, like you guys are old buddies running into each other. Like, I would prefer to see this if you guys were in totally different divisions and weren't planning on fighting each other. You know, I wouldn't mind that. You know, but especially when you have a scheduled fight in a press conference. The other thing is just like the Jacobs fight, when Canelo at the Jacobs fight week, you know, and I understand emotions change, tensions run high or whatever, but during the fight week, he got in Jacobs' face and ran and tried to like, it looked kind of corny because you were just on FaceTime with him and you guys were telling jokes and laughing. So the same could be said for this. I just don't think it is really like admirable for fans. Like, so if you do this and then you have a hard camp and then you have to face off and then you hate each other, that just seems too WWE and too theatrical. You know, that's why I personally, I rather fighters stay with their camp. Like, I didn't see Errol Spence and Sean Porter. They were kind of taking jabs at each other. If you watch the face off, he's like, man, Sean Porter, he a dog, but he got talent, but he he don't got true skill. You get that in the gym. You're not a skill guy, you know. And he's like, oh, I don't have skill. You know, you could see like tension. So to see Canelo and him all like buddy, it's just weird. So I agree wholeheartedly with Andre Ward. And another fight, Andre Ward or Kovalev. You didn't see this. You didn't see the buddy stuff, right? And I'm not saying you have to be sinister or be someone you're not, but it just seems like you guys would unite for what you're there to unite for, promote the fight, and then, you know, keep it pushing. It just seems weird. Like, it reminds me of the Anthony Joshua situation, posing with the belts and smiling and all he. And I don't really think that excites the fans. I think the fans like the drama to it and knowing there's some tension there. That's like, oh man, bro, finger pointing. Man, I remember Floyd Mayweather versus Victor Ortiz. He was like, man, Victor Ortiz, I'm rich, motherfucker. And he started choking him, and Victor Ortiz was getting choked. Like, again, that's Floyd. Not everyone's gonna be, you know, a showman in that regard, but I just don't like what that represents. And it kind of, to me, this is just my personal opinion. We unpack. It almost feels like the fight, and I'm not saying this is, but I'm just saying it gives me a feeling like the fight is fixed. Like you guys are in cahoots. Like that's the impression that it gives me. Like, okay, Canelo's going up all this division, all these weight, and then you guys are all like happy, like he, like good to see you again. Like it just makes it feel like it's a fixed fight. You know, like I'm getting paid good, you're getting paid good, and you know what to do. That's how I take it when I see this type of but it like they're in a buddy cop movie, Rush Hour, 48 Hours. I just don't like it. You know, call me dumb, old school, whatever. I just don't like it. You can have respect for somebody from afar. Like, oh, I respect this guy. And again, like there's people like Andre Ward. He's not like an overt trash talker, but he's not gonna let you, you know, totally disrespect him either. You know, and like I said, you can have respect for somebody's fight game, but to me, that don't mean you have to engage in selfies and stuff like that. To me, that's weird. It'd be one thing if you guys are sparring, like someone's sparring, like Broner and Adrian Granados, they sparred for the Maidana fight and then later fought. Even something like that is a bit different to me. But this was hours before you guys are gathered with signed contracts to face each other, and you guys are taking selfies together. I think that's what makes it look weird. Like if, like I said, you're at a fight and neither one of you guys are fighting, and you run into a fighter that you like or respect, like Regis Prograis ran into Mikey Garcia and then, you know, took a picture together. That's not, I wouldn't think nothing like that. But I think what makes it weirder is the fact that this is hours before your press conference. You got a signed fight with the man, and you guys seem to be taking selfies like it's a family reunion or something. Just something about that is very weird, and I feel like it gives away some of the aggression that you need to have, or the fighter. Tyson Fury is another person. I understand he wants to be a showman and the life of the party and those types of things, but with Tom Schwartz, it didn't really matter, because I don't think Tom Schwartz had the skill to F with Tyson Fury. But if you look at the face-off, Tyson Fury was voguing and posing and doing all this, and he did the same antics versus Otto Violent, right? They're like, all right, face the front cameras after the, you know, press conference or weigh-in, and then Fury joking around like trying to look taller and cute and like play games and stuff like that. All that stuff is weird to me. You know, you're doing all that, and then the next day Tyson Fury's whole entire face looks cut to hell, and he almost loses the fight. He almost gets stopped, and you were sitting up here playing games with it. That's, I don't know. I'm a person who lives life with no regrets. I don't believe in L's. I believe in lessons. And you were playing all these games and, like, you know, puckering your lips at opponents and showing how tall you were, much taller, voguing with them and, you know, having fun and fixing their collar, doing all this stuff. And then you just went through a war. So I just don't like it. And I prefer to continue living my life with no regrets. And that would be a big regret, because you kind of let your senses down, you let your guards down, and you let your aggression down, playing around and taking selfies and smiling and being jovial, knowing you have to go to battle with this person. So if Otto Violent, you did all this stuff posing with him and voguing, and he got your face looking like this, you know, you had to get stitches. That was a horrible performance. So I would just prefer to keep it business. If I were the one fighting, you know, I would prefer to keep it business and really just focus on the task at hand. You guys can do all the smiles when you retire or later on, but to me, look at this cut. This is nasty. This is the art of war, people. You know, and you sitting up here acting like you guys are friends, like childhood friends. You got your eye looking crazy. I don't believe in that. I'm too competitive too. You know, you can like, I know fighters. I think it was Danny Garcia. There's a couple fighters I know like that, but Danny Garcia, I think he said he don't have no friends in his division. Like he's friends with people in lighter divisions or higher divisions, if anything, in boxing, like true friends. Like he knows my dude Rick, you know, and he's in a much lighter division, so they've known each other since the amateurs or whatever. But they wouldn't fight because they're too far apart in size and weight and stuff, and they're cool, you know. And I understand why, you know, playing around. This is not that type of game. Boxing is oh so serious. It's a gladiator sport, and best believe guys like Otto Violent and Kovalev wishes he had the paychecks and the $365 million deal Canelo got. These dudes are looking to take this from you. Otto Violent was looking to stop Kovalev and improve his quality of life for himself, his family, or whoever else he's fighting for. And you sitting up here playing games. So I don't condone it. And look at Tyson Fury's face. I don't condone it, like playing around and stuff like that. Because no one's playing around when you're in the ring with them. So if you're not going to play around in the ring, then why do selfies and pose together and you know, have this good time with them? This is your opponent. You guys are, at least for that period of time, sworn enemies. You guys could show the respect after the training camp, after the fight is concluded, when you guys are retired, stuff like that. So I agree with Andre Ward. He didn't really, you know, it wasn't an interview, so he didn't really expand on his thoughts, but I'm very consistent. Joshua Ruiz, these are bad signs to me. You know, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. This guy's trying to harm you, take something you have, and you posing with them like everything's cool. And then you have to, I feel like it lowers your aggression. Why do you think fighters don't have sex? There's a lot of fighters that will not have sex. They'll refrain from sex and abstinence and, you know, initiate abstinence as opposed to having sex during that period of time, because you release endorphins when you have sex. You know what I mean? So you with your girl, you release endorphins and also testosterone and aggression, you know, things like that, getting intimate. That's why some fighters don't do it, because they want to keep that pent up rage and, you know, all the struggle, all the pain from training camp and, you know, a bland diet and running and the sacrifice. And they want to keep that at a high. So another way to keep your testosterone level and that aggression and, you know, stay focused on the mission is to not engage in like playful joy with your opponent. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't think it makes sense. And as a fight fan, that's not really what I want to see. I don't really want to see two guys who are buddy and then them try to flip it on fight week and act like they hate each other. You know, it doesn't really sound good to me. But I will say Kovalev, he looked a lot bigger than Canelo. Look, he'd be bigger than Canelo for sure. I still feel the same way about the fight, but Canelo's fought big guys. He fought Chavez Jr., he fought Danny Jacobs, Triple G, Rocky Fielding. You know, all these guys are bigger. I still feel this section, you know, that midsection, Kovalev is vulnerable. We'll see. We'll see what Kovalev has left in the tank, but I don't know. I don't prefer this buddy stuff. I really don't. I think it's kind of weird, to be honest. See, look. Oh, man. I thought they were going to show the De La Hoya. But anyway, that was De La Hoya and Tito Trinidad. And it did look like it was all business. You get what I'm saying? It looked like it was all business. It didn't look like it was like any time fun time or anything like that. Let me see if they have it. I want to see what people are saying on this. People saying Canelo won't last, blah, blah, blah. Kovalev beats women, Triple G got robbed. Ha ha ha, oh my gosh, that's gold. The size difference is fucking huge. See, no one's even talking about the actual. Dear me. I'm just trying to see if anyone's the size difference. See, people are looking at like obvious stuff. I don't know. I was trying to see if anyone was commenting on the actual fact that they're even hugged up. Look at the coaches laughing. I don't know. Not a fan of it. Look, they in DAZN. See, DAZN they keep doing these weird stuff. I don't know if DAZN told them to do this. Cause look, they posted, they said Canelo plus Crusher, and they put the selfie emoji. So I don't know. I don't think fighters should do this, especially you're moving up 2 weight classes, bro. You know? And you're moving up 2 weight classes. This dude has power. You don't want to be doing that. But even the same thing for Kovalev. How come you had all this animosity for Andre Ward and you guys were sworn enemies, but then because you like Canelo, you know, you don't think he's coming to try to knock you off and put you into retirement? I'm not a fan of this. We unpack. That's it. There's no other simple way to put it. You let me know what you guys think. If you like it, if you think that behavior, more fighters should do it, explain. If you agree with me, explain. We unpack, coming to you live. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Canelo vs. Kovalev, November 2nd. We work. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.